Welcome. Today, we're diving into the fascinating process of how government funding is approved. Whether it's for building roads, supporting schools, or launching new health programs, government funding is at the heart of public services. But how does money actually get allocated? Who decides where it goes? And what steps are involved before a single dollar is spent? In this video, we'll break down the entire journey from the initial idea to the final approval, so you can better understand how public funds are managed and distributed. Every funding process starts with a need. Maybe a city needs a new bridge, or a school district requires more teachers. These needs are identified by government agencies, local officials, or sometimes even citizens. Once a need is recognized, it's documented and justified, often with data and research to show why the funding is necessary. This initial step is crucial because it sets the stage for everything that follows. Without a clear need, it's unlikely that a funding proposal will make it very far in the approval process. Once a need is established, the next step is drafting a funding proposal. This document outlines the project, its objectives, estimated costs, and expected benefits. Government staff or consultants often work together to ensure the proposal is thorough and addresses potential questions. The proposal must be clear, detailed, and persuasive, as it will be reviewed by multiple decision makers. A well-crafted proposal increases the chances of moving forward in the approval process. After the proposal is drafted, it goes through an internal review within the agency or department. Here, experts assess the proposal's feasibility, check for accuracy, and ensure it aligns with broader government priorities. This stage may involve several rounds of feedback and revisions. The goal is to refine the proposal and address any weaknesses before it moves on to higher levels of scrutiny. With a solid proposal in hand, the next step is preparing the budget. Budget officers calculate the total cost, break down expenses, and ensure all financial details are accurate. This budget becomes a key part of the funding request, as decision makers want to know exactly how much money is needed and how it will be spent. Transparency and accuracy are essential at this stage to build trust and credibility. Once the budget is finalized, the proposal is submitted to agency leadership or department heads. These leaders review the proposal to ensure it fits within the agency's mission and available resources. They may request further changes or clarifications before giving their endorsement. Approval at this level is a significant milestone, as it signals the proposal is ready for broader review. Many funding proposals require coordination between multiple departments or agencies. For example, a new public park might involve the Parks Department, Public Works, and Finance. Interdepartmental meetings are held to discuss the proposal, resolve conflicts, and ensure all stakeholders are on the same page. This collaboration helps identify potential issues early and strengthens the proposal before it moves forward. Before a proposal can advance, it must pass legal and compliance checks. Legal teams review the proposal to ensure it adheres to all relevant laws, regulations, and policies. This step protects the government from legal risks and ensures public funds are used appropriately. If any issues are found, the proposal is sent back for revision. For many projects, public consultation is a key part of the process. This might involve public meetings, surveys, or online feedback. The goal is to gather input from citizens, address concerns, and build community support. Public feedback can lead to changes in the proposal, making it more responsive to the needs of those it will affect. After incorporating feedback from legal, compliance, and public consultation, the proposal is finalized. This version reflects all necessary changes and is ready for formal submission. Finalizing the proposal ensures that it is as strong as possible before facing the next round of scrutiny. The finalized proposal is submitted to the government's budget office. Here, budget analysts review the request in detail, comparing it to available funds and other priorities. They may ask for clarifications or additional information. The budget office plays a critical role in determining which proposals move forward. Not all proposals can be funded, so the budget office must prioritize. They consider factors like urgency, impact, and alignment with government goals. Proposals are ranked, and only the highest priority projects are recommended for funding. This step ensures that limited resources are used where they're needed most. Once priorities are set, the budget office drafts a budget bill. This bill includes all recommended funding proposals and is prepared for legislative review. The budget bill is a comprehensive document that outlines how government funds will be allocated in the coming year. The budget bill is submitted to the legislature, such as Congress or Parliament. Lawmakers now have the opportunity to review, debate, and amend the bill. This is a critical stage, as elected officials represent the interests of their constituents and may have differing opinions on funding priorities. Legislative committees hold hearings to examine the budget bill in detail. Experts, agency heads, and stakeholders may be called to testify and answer questions. These hearings help lawmakers understand the implications of funding decisions and ensure transparency in the process. During committee hearings and legislative debate, lawmakers may propose amendments to the budget bill. Negotiations take place to resolve differences and build consensus. This process can be complex and time-consuming, but it's essential for reaching agreement on how funds should be allocated. Once negotiations are complete, the legislature votes on the budget bill. A majority vote is usually required for passage. If the bill passes, it moves to the next stage. If not, further negotiations or revisions may be needed. The voting process is a key moment in determining which projects receive funding. After legislative approval, the budget bill is sent to the executive branch, such as the president or governor. The executive reviews the bill to ensure it aligns with their policy priorities. In some cases, the executive can veto specific items or request changes before signing the bill into law. If the executive approves the budget bill, it is signed into law. This formalizes the allocation of funds and authorizes government agencies to begin spending according to the approved budget. Signing the bill is a ceremonial but important step in the funding process. With the budget now law, government agencies can begin implementing funded projects. This involves hiring staff, purchasing materials, and starting construction or service delivery. Agencies must follow strict guidelines to ensure funds are used as intended. Once implementation begins, agencies are required to monitor progress and report on how funds are being used. Regular updates are provided to oversight bodies and the public. Monitoring ensures accountability and helps identify any issues early. Independent auditors may review funded projects to ensure compliance with laws and regulations. Evaluations assess whether the project achieved its goals and delivered value for money. Auditing and evaluation are essential for maintaining public trust in government spending. If audits or evaluations uncover problems, agencies must take corrective action. This might involve revising procedures, reallocating funds, or even halting a project. Addressing issues promptly helps prevent waste and ensures funds are used effectively. Transparency is a cornerstone of government funding. Many governments publish detailed information about funded projects, spending, and outcomes. This allows citizens to see how their tax dollars are being used and hold officials accountable. Government funding is not a one-time process. Each year, agencies review their budgets and performance, making adjustments as needed. This annual review helps ensure that funding continues to meet changing needs and priorities. Oversight bodies, such as audit offices or legislative committees, play a key role in monitoring government spending. They conduct investigations, review reports, and make recommendations for improvement. Their work helps ensure that public funds are used responsibly. Citizens can participate in the funding process by attending public meetings, submitting feedback, or joining advisory boards. Their involvement helps ensure that funding decisions reflect community needs and values. Sometimes, emergencies require rapid funding decisions. In these cases, governments may use special procedures to approve funding quickly, bypassing some of the usual steps. Emergency funding is used for natural disasters, public health crises, or other urgent needs. If a project needs more money than originally planned, agencies can submit supplemental funding requests. These requests go through a similar approval process, including review, prioritization, and legislative approval. Sometimes, funds need to be reallocated from one project to another. This requires approval from budget officers and, in some cases, the legislature. Reallocation helps ensure that resources are used where they're most needed. Many government funds are distributed through grant programs. Agencies or organizations apply for grants, which are awarded based on merit and need. Grant programs have their own application and approval processes, often involving competitive selection. Once funding is approved, agencies often contract with private companies to deliver goods or services. The procurement process involves bidding, evaluation, and awarding contracts. Strict rules ensure fairness and value for money. Managing timelines is essential for successful project delivery. Agencies set milestones, monitor progress, and adjust schedules as needed. Delays can impact funding and require additional approvals or adjustments. Every project carries risks, from cost overruns to unforeseen challenges. Agencies develop risk management plans to identify, assess, and mitigate potential problems. Effective risk management helps keep projects on track and within budget. At the end of a project, agencies report on outcomes and results. These reports detail what was achieved, how funds were spent, and lessons learned. Outcome reporting is vital for accountability and future planning. Feedback from project outcomes is used to improve future funding decisions. Agencies analyze what worked and what didn't, making adjustments to policies and procedures. This continuous improvement cycle strengthens the overall funding process. Technology plays an increasing role in managing government funding. Digital tools streamline proposal, submission, budget tracking, and reporting. Technology also enhances transparency and makes information more accessible to the public. Different countries have their own processes for approving government funding. While the basic steps are similar, there are variations in oversight, public participation, and transparency. Comparing systems helps identify best practices and areas for improvement. Approving government funding is not without challenges. Common issues include political disagreements, limited resources, and bureaucratic delays. Addressing these challenges requires collaboration, innovation, and a commitment to serving the public good. Despite the challenges, there are many success stories where government funding has made a real difference. From new schools and hospitals to improved infrastructure, these projects show the positive impact of effective funding approval processes. Each funding cycle offers valuable lessons. Agencies learn from past experiences, adapting their processes to avoid mistakes and build on successes. Continuous learning is key to improving how government funding is approved and managed. Looking ahead, government funding approval is likely to become even more data-driven and transparent. Advances in technology, greater public involvement, and evolving priorities will shape the future of how funds are allocated and managed. To sum up, government funding approval is a complex, multi-step process involving many stakeholders. From identifying needs to monitoring outcomes, each stage is designed to ensure that public funds are used wisely and effectively. Understanding this process helps build trust in government and encourages informed participation. Government funding approval may seem complicated, but it's essential for delivering the services and infrastructure we all rely on. By understanding how the process works, we can appreciate the effort that goes into making funding decisions and the importance of accountability at every step. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the government funding approval process. We hope you now have a clearer understanding of how public funds are managed and the steps involved in getting projects off the ground. Stay informed and engaged. It's your money at work.